Hello, my people. Welcome back to Gstep, your number one channel for hot gists. If you coming across this channel for the first time, do well to hit the subscribe button for more gists. And also like and share. Now sit tight, because what you are about to hear is the kind of gist that shakes timelines, divides comment sections, and still leaves everybody nodding their head. Because deep down, the truth was spoken without sugar coating. Veteran Nollywood actor Kanayo, Kanayo, has once again proven why his name carries weight in the industry. And this time, it is not because of any movie role, but because of advice he gave to newcomers that has now turned into a wildfire online. People are calling it brutal honesty. Others are calling it controversial. Some say it is long overdue, while a few feel attacked. But one thing everybody agrees on is that Baba did not lie. According to gist making rounds, Kanayo addressed upcoming actors and actresses and told them to stop chasing shortcuts, stop looking for who to blame, and start studying people who are doing it right. He reportedly said that talent alone will not save anybody in Nollywood if discipline, patience, consistency, and character are missing. That statement alone was enough to trigger thousands of reactions. But what really scattered the internet was when fans interpreted his advice as pointing directly to the footsteps of actors like Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche. The way people connected the dots was wild. Fans began saying Kanayo was basically telling upcoming actors to look at Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche as templates of how to grow steadily without unnecessary scandals, entitlement, or shortcut. Even though he did not shout their names from the rooftop in the original talk, social media users quickly brought their names into the conversation. And from there, the gist took a life of its own. Kanayo is not just any actor. This is a man who has seen Nollywood grow from almost nothing to a global industry. He has survived eras, trends, and generations. So when he speaks, people listen, even when they do not like what they hear. Fans said his advice sounded like a father talking to stubborn children who refuse to listen. He was said to have emphasized that newcomers should stop thinking that social media hype alone equals longevity. According to him, fame without structure is like building a house on sand, and when the storm comes, everything collapses. As soon as this gist hit social media, fans went crazy. One fan wrote, Kanayo just ended the career of lazy upcoming actors without mentioning names. Baba said, go and work, not complain. Another said, this advice is painful, but true. Some people want lead roles without learning the craft. Others felt attacked and responded defensively. One comment read, old actors should allow the new generation breathe. Times have changed. Another replied immediately, times have changed, but discipline has not changed. Then came the comparisons that made this gist even hotter. Maurice Sam's name started trending alongside the conversation, with fans praising his journey in Nollywood. People began pointing out how Maurice Sam built his career quietly, focusing on improving his acting, staying consistent, and maintaining a clean image. Fans said he did not wake up one morning and become a star. He earned his place through patience and hard work. Someone commented, Maurice Sam is a perfect example of what Kanayo is saying. No loud scandal, just steady growth. Sonia Uche's name also entered the charts in a big way. Fans described her as another example of grace, focus, and professionalism. According to many reactions, Sonia Uche has managed to remain relevant without unnecessary drama, and her growth has been organic. One fan wrote, Sonia Uche didn't rush fame. She respected the process, and today, her name commands respect. Another added, if upcoming actresses can follow Sonia Uche's footsteps, Nollywood will be healthier. This is where the gist turned controversial. Some upcoming actors felt the comparison was unfair. They argued that everyone's journey is different and that not everybody has the same opportunities. But fans were quick to counter that argument, saying Kanayo was not talking about opportunities but about attitude. According to them, Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche did not wait for perfect conditions. They maximized what they had and kept pushing. One viral reaction said, Kanayo is not saying copy Maurice Sam or Sonia Uche's life. He's saying copy their mindsets, learn patience, humility, and consistency. Another fan said, the problem is not lack of roles, it is lack of preparation. Baba Kanayo is saying the truth you don't want to hear. As the gist continued to spread, audio clips and quotes attributed to Kanayo kept surfacing. In one of them, he reportedly warned newcomers against entitlement, saying nobody owes you a career. In Nollywood, fans latched onto that line like fuel to fire. One person tweeted, Kanayo just said nobody owes you a career. If this offends you, check yourself. Another said, this advice is like bitter leaf soup. It is bitter, but good for your health. Supporters of Maurice Sam flooded comment sections, celebrating how his career has become a reference point. Some fans recalled how he took on different roles, sometimes small, sometimes challenging, but never acted like he was bigger than the process. One reaction said, Maurice Sam stayed grinding while others were busy chasing clouds. Now see the difference. Another added, this is Kanayo's advice, makes sense. Look at people who stayed focused. Sonia Uche's fans were not left out. Many pointed out her professionalism on set and how senior actors often speak highly of her. One fan wrote, Sonia Uche respects elders and respects the craft. That alone would take you far. Another said she didn't use controversies to trend. She used consistency. Of course, not everyone was happy. Some critics accused fans of putting too much pressure on Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche by turning them into standards. Others said Kanayo's words could discourage upcoming actors who are already struggling. But supporters fired back, saying the advice was not meant to discourage, but to redirect. One comment read, if advice discourages you, maybe you were not ready for the truth. Another replied, Kanayo is not chasing anybody out of Nollywood. He's inviting you to do better. What made this gist even more engaging was how fans began sharing personal stories. Some upcoming actors admitted that they felt exposed by Kanayo's words. One wrote, this advice hit me hard. I have been complaining instead of improving. Another said, I used to think connections were everything, but now I see that preparation meets opportunity. The conversation kept evolving. People started discussing how Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche have managed to balance fame and humility. Fans said that both actors still interact respectfully with colleagues and fans, something Kanayo has always preached. One reaction said, humility will open doors talent cannot open. Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche understand this. As expected, blogs and gossip pages jumped on the gist, adding their own spice. Headlines screamed about Kanayo dragging newcomers and endorsing Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche as role models. Even though Kanayo did not officially endorse anyone, the public narrative had already been formed. Fans said, whether intentional or not, his advice had highlighted a clear contrast between those who respect the process and those who want instant stardom. Another viral reaction said, Kanayo didn't mention names, but conscience mentioned names. That comment alone got thousands of likes. Others said, if the shoe fits, wear it. Some upcoming actors went silent online, which fans interpreted as the advice hitting home. At the same time, supporters praised Kanayo for speaking up when many veterans remained silent. One fan wrote, we need more elders like Kanayo who will talk, even if it's uncomfortable. Another added, if Baba keeps quiet, people will say he's selfish. Now he talks, they say he's wicked. As days passed, the gist refused to die. People kept dissecting every angle. Some said Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche represent a new generation that blends old school discipline with modern visibility. Others argued that Kanayo was simply reminding newcomers that fame is not a sprint, but a marathon. One emotional fan reaction said, "Kanayo's advice saved me from quitting. I realized I was rushing myself." Another said, "This is the mentorship we need, not sugar-coated lies." Of course, critics still held their ground. One wrote, "Not everyone can follow the same path. Nollywood should be inclusive." But even that comment sparked replies, saying inclusivity does not cancel hard work. The most interesting part of this whole saga is how it turned into a mirror for the industry. People began asking serious questions. Are upcoming actors too impatient? Has social media created unrealistic expectations? Are veterans doing enough to guide the younger generation? In all these questions, Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche kept appearing as examples of balance. One fan summed it up perfectly by saying, "Kanayo, oh Kanayo, just gave free masterclass." Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche are proof that it works. Another said, "If you don't like the advice, you don't have to follow it, but you can't say it's a lie." As at now, the gist is still trending, still dividing opinions, and still sparking conversations. Kanayo remains unbothered, as expected of a man who has paid his dues. Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche continue doing their thing, focused on their craft, while fans keep using their names as reference points. Whether you agree or disagree, one thing is clear. This advice has shaken Nollywood's table in a way only truth can. It has reminded people that short corbs expire, hype fades, but solid foundations last. As fans continue to argue, praise, criticize, and analyze, one cannot deny that this gist has exposed a reality many were avoiding. So my people, what do you think? Did Kanayo speak fact or go too far? Are Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche good examples for upcoming actors, or is every journey truly different? Drop your thoughts. Keep the conversation going. And don't forget to stay tuned, because Gist Steph will always bring you the hottest gist as it drops. As the conversation continues to grow, fans are now saying this gist will be remembered as one of those moments that separated serious mind from excuses in Nollywood. Some people even said Kanayo's advice came at the right time, especially now that many newcomers believe one viral clip or one connection should automatically translate to stardom. According to fans, that mindset is exactly what the veteran actor was calling out, and that is why the message felt heavy. More reactions are still pouring in, with one fan saying, "If you listen carefully, Kanayo is not angry. He's tired of seeing wasted potential." Another said, "This advice is not for everybody. It is for those who truly want to last." Others praised Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche again, pointing out how both actors avoided unnecessary rivalry and focused on growth. One comment read, "While others were fighting for relevance, Maurice Sam was building relevance." Another added, "Sonia Uche understood early that respect will open doors talent alone cannot." Some fans also noted how both actors rarely respond to negativity online, which they believe is part of their success story. On silent consistency is their secret, a fan wrote. Another said they let their work speak, and that is why Kanayo's advice aligns with their journey. At this point, many upcoming actors are said to be rethinking their approach, with some openly admitting they need mentorship and structure. Whether people like it or not, this gist has sparked self-reflection, debates, and even silent lessons. And as fans keep talking, one thing remains certain: Nollywood just received one of the most honest wake-up calls it has seen in a long time, and the echo is not fading anytime soon.